What's up, beautiful souls? Your boy Loon is back with another Reddit read, and I am so excited to have a nice change of pace. We are back on Am I the Devil, and it's been a chaotic week in the world, so it's gonna be nice to be reading some goofy stories, hopefully goofy, we'll see, where the OP is the obvious devil. For those of you guys that don't know, that's what Am I the Devil is. People find posts on Reddit, and it's super obvious that OP is just a horrible person, but they're usually oblivious to it, so I'm excited to read what we got in store. We got the top post of the week, and without further ado, let's jump right into this. So first one up here says, won't help wife because he's vegan. Oh, all right. I love this. All right, r/vegan. Oh, and the original post wasn't even that long ago. It was only 5 days ago. So the title says, I've quietly stopped carrying in non-vegan groceries. Wife not happy. What do you mean you don't carry in the groceries? You only carry and touch those stuff that's vegan? What? That's some goofy goober. I feel like this is an excuse for him to just be lazy. But let's read it. My wife and I split the household chores. One of the things she's responsible for is grocery shopping. If I'm around when she comes home, I'll help unload the car and bring the groceries into the house. I've been vegan for a few years now. Somewhere along the way, I grew uncomfortable handling meat, dairy, and eggs. So when I'm unloading the car, I grab the vegan stuff. Produce, oatmeal, beans, lentils, etc. We each make the same amount of trips carrying in food. Okay, hold up. Let's talk about this before we even dive into this. He acts like he's gonna have to touch the meat and eggs or the dairy. It's not like you're at a farm where you're gonna have to squeeze out the dairy or something, dude. You're not the one picking the eggs out. More than likely, if she's going to a grocery store, even if you go to a butcher, it's all wrapped up and it's completely sealed. Why would you actually be handling the meat? This guy sounds like a Omega loser. I'm actually shocked, and I feel bad for his wife more than anyone. And this is why I love Am I the Devil? Some of the stuff we see in this is just preposterous. I can't believe he went on Reddit to talk about this too, thinking that he's gonna be at all in the right. Well, she has finally noticed what I'm doing and is slightly annoyed by it. Over the past week, she has told me, I talked to my friends and they all say you're being ridiculous. I told my coworkers about it and they all agree with me. I will say that's a weird thing to say, like to bring in a third party. It's not weird, but it is a manipulative tactic. I would have just straight up addressed it to his face, been like, buddy, what are you doing? You goofy goober. You don't even have to handle the meat. But I get what she's going at. She's, saying like everyone's thinking it's silly. I talked with your mom and she's think you're being silly. Honestly, I don't really give a F what anyone thinks. But most recently, she said she didn't even think my Reddit vegan friends would agree with me, which got me curious, but still unmoving in my resolve. So, Reddit vegan friends, is this true? Do I have a duty to transport her animal foods? Dude, what? This guy really said, I don't give a F what anyone thinks, but goes on online for validation, but only because I don't give a F. Let's read the comments of the original post. I'm very curious what people said. Someone said, you don't have a responsibility to carry them in, but you do have a responsibility to communicate your thoughts with her like an adult. Why didn't you just tell her that it bothers you so that you could both come up with a solution? Yeah, I know. You're genuinely handling this like a child. He was like sneakily maneuvering around, like actually bringing in anything. Oh, she finally noticed. I wonder why. If you're uncomfortable carrying in animal products, then this would be a situation where you absolutely need to use your words. If you're repulsed by animal products, I totally get it. However, choosing to not say anything and just let her figure it out is ridiculous. Those are two separate issues. You got two options: get a divorce and start communicating. Yeah, for real. Also, I'm not trying to be mean, but this sounds like someone vegan would say this. You know what I'm talking about? Like, it just sounds like something a vegan person would do. Okay, I'm gonna get hate for that, but I have some vegan friends. I love you guys. That was a joke. Calm down. If you're offended, you're obviously vegan. I'm just playing. Oh no, this one says the divorce came out of nowhere. This would be hilarious if this was a follow-up to the last one. Obviously it's not, 6 days ago. All right, so the original post was on r/AmITheAhole, and it says, am I the a-hole for telling my wife she's making a big deal out of our vacation pictures? Oh, okay. I'm curious now. So this summer, me, 44, and my wife, 45, took our two kids, 15 and 12, on a 2-week trip to Japan. That's amazing. I've also wants to go to Japan soon, so that's really sick. My wife goes crazy on picture taking on vacation, and he's usually the one taking the pictures of the kids and me with the kids. When we got back, and actually took a good look at all the pictures. My wife was pretty pissed when she realized she had like under 5 pictures of her and the kids. She had plenty of solo pictures though, so I guess it counts for something. She immediately got mad at me because I didn't give her the opportunity, but she's the one who crazes over the pictures, so she's the one who should have asked me. What? You sound like a terrible husband. I feel like if you're married to someone, especially for, I'm assuming for over 15 years, I mean, I could be wrong, but would you not know by now? I mean, you obviously know she's into crazy on pictures. If you already know that, shouldn't you be willing to have any type of decency and thoughtfulness in you as a husband? Oh no, she gotta ask me in order for me to do it. This guy sucks. I told her she was making a big deal out of literally nothing, and it's not like she had no pictures at all. She was mad, and said that she won't remember the trip, which I think is a bit much. Am I the a-hole? I will, look, before I get into this, I'm going to say I love taking pictures. I love taking pictures on trips. I love taking videos. Hell, I vlog sometimes. But is it everything and anything in a memory? No. You want to remember things, and it is nice to have pictures because it helps you remember stuff. But at the same time, you don't want to be stuck the whole trip taking pictures. So there's a nice medium. But at the same time, if you know that your wife is really into memories like this, what do you want to take pictures? Also, if you have kids, don't you want them to remember this? I don't know. This is such a common thing, too, with one parent almost never appearing in family pictures because the other one's taking them. I wonder if the pictures were taken by the kids. Yeah, wild. Did he get divorced? I'm curious if there's a follow-up. Someone said, dude, she takes a ton of pictures so all of you will have them and enjoy and remember. All you got to say is, okay, now one for mom when she takes a picture of you and the kids. She's mad because she feels unseen and unappreciated. It's obvious she values pictures. You could make sure she gets in them more often because it's important to her, and you, theoretically, love her. Theoretically, he does. We don't even know. Doesn't sound like it. Oh, brother. Another husband prank. Oh, on r/relationship advice. How do I get my 40-year-old wife, or hold up. OP is 40-year-old. I said year old. OP is 40 years old, and his wife is 37. So how do I get my wife to speak to me after a prank? My wife and I have been married for over 6 years, and I've started to feel like our love life lacks the same zest that it used to. That happens sometimes. You gotta know how to spice things up. So I decided to play a bit of a prank to make things unpredictable again. Brother, that is not a good way to be hot. Like pranks are cool if it's like lighthearted, but not in bed. That's like the worst time to prank someone. You're like the most vulnerable and intimate, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna zest it up by pranking you. I got you. Cake to the face. A few nights ago, after we had done the deed, I picked up my wallet and oh my God, no way. No way did he do this. Oh my God. There is no way. I'm sorry. I read ahead and I just cannot believe he did this. Guys, he picked up his wallet and flung a 20 at her, a $20 bill at her before leaving the room. Bro, what the? Are you like actually missing some like a brain completely? Like what is going on? What? Why would you think that's funny? Dude, so he obviously pulled a prank on her, which is insulting her in a way of someone who would get paid for the act. Ever since, she has refused to sleep in the same bed with me. Yeah, I wonder why you've treated her like dog water, dude. How would you, dude, that's disgusting. Why would you do that? That's your wife too. And she doesn't even seem to care that it was nothing more than a joke. I understand that, dude, come on. Like as someone who really commits to the bit, like I genuinely love joking around and I take nothing serious. That is not a time to be, and also that's a bad joke. Like it's not even that it's a joke after like you do the deed, but it's a bad one. No one would think this is funny except you in your twisted brain. I understand that I must have done something wrong. Do you? But if I cannot even open a dialogue, I don't think I can smooth things over with it between us. Any advice? This one is bad. Wow, that one is crazy. I don't understand why my wife doesn't talk to me after I degraded her. What do I do? Yeah, for real. Dude thought it would add zest in their love life. Maybe his wife can add zest by telling him his pee-pee is small, and his best try at making her finish doesn't even fall out of her top 100. Yeah, dude, that's insane. Wow, that I can't believe this guy did that. All right, this one says the past was 3 months ago, and past in quotations. Original post says r/marriage, past coming back to haunt me. Okay. My wife and I have had big arguments in the past about our online behavior, or my online behavior. I was liking Instagram posts of women in active wear and bikinis. Oof, this is not a good start, buddy. All of the women were either minor influencers. Oh my God, I read that wrong. At first I thought he said minors. I was gonna be like, bro, what? We have a whole nother problem. Hi, I'm Chris Hansen. I'm just playing. All right, he said all of the women were either minor influencers or complete strangers. I mean, that doesn't like resolve the issue. I guess in theory, like it's better than if you knew them, but even then, like you're still liking other women's picture. How do you not see that this is bad? I have over the last 3 months cleaned up my behavior, and I am fully committed to my wife. Dude, this was only 3 months ago. Now I get why you said the past is only 3 months. Dude, what? Buddy, that's crazy. This afternoon, a girl who hold up. Oh, before we actually read this, I have to stop, and I hate to interrupt this, but this is so baffling to me because as a guy, look, I'm a guy too. And if I'm dating someone, even dating, not even married, and something came across my feed, let's say even if the algorithm wasn't feeding me this, but somehow I miraculously came across, we'll say Megan Fox swimsuit. Don't know why, but it came across. It's this hard to just scroll and not like the picture. It is a voluntary action for you to be like, nice. Like that's asking to get caught, and you're being dumb. That's just so dumb. You could easily look at the picture, appreciate it, and just move on. But no, he's like, nah, this girl's got to know I like her. Like this afternoon, a girl who I fire reacted to some of her gym posts privately, messaged me saying, how would your wife feel about this? Wait, what? Oh, who he follows, I guess? Reacted to some of her gym posts privately, messaging me, how would your wife feel about this? I panicked and quickly blocked and deleted her. Yeah, I mean, seriously though. Then I unblocked and replied by saying, I love my wife. And she replied by saying, so how would you feel about you fire reacting to my gym emoji? Or gym post, sorry. Oh, like fire emoji reacted, I see. Why are you doing, well, hold on. I just pieced it together. This dude is actively putting the fire emoji. Bro, what? Like legitimately scrolling up and voluntarily pressing the fire emoji. Insanity that you would think that this is not something you would get caught over. What are you? This guy is so dumb. These dudes are some of the dumbest people I have read about in recent history. So she said, how would she feel about you fire reacting to my gym post? Poor wife's name. I was going to explain to this girl that my wife knows of my past indiscretions and that we worked things out. Oh, he did this after the 3 months? Dude, do you have like a problem? Do you need to go to rehab? It's like you're like relapsing and you're like, I gotta like these girls. I then thought I don't owe this girl an explanation of the happenings in my marriage, so I screenshotted her message and then I blocked her. I'm going to tell my wife I have to believe that she won't leave me. I hate that my past behaviors is now catching up with me. Buddy, what? Are you like actually stupid? No, it's gonna catch. Why are you volunteering? You could have easily looked at the post and just not reacted. What? Did I do the right thing here? What should I do next? You did nothing right here. Nothing that you have done has been right at all. What should you do next? Probably, in my opinion, you should probably tell your wife, accept the divorce that you're gonna have to have, and move on and learn for your mistakes on the next person that you date if you even get lucky enough to date someone else. That's just my advice, though. I could be wrong. I'm just a guy on YouTube, so I don't really know. TLDR, someone whose photo I liked previously messaged me, and I'm worried that they will use it against me to destroy my marriage. What should I do? Brother, you destroyed your marriage, not someone else. You're cooked. There's no way he's just reacting to pictures of an influencer. They got tons of reactions and DMs every day. That's the point of their posts, is to get the reactions, isn't it? So he's trying to tell us that out of the probable thousands of likes, this woman chose him, searched his profile and name for his info, and then DM'd him to guilt trip him. Yeah, more than likely, it's probably someone who is a micro influencer, aka not even a micro influencer. Like I'm probably like someone like 4,000 or 5,000 followers, and he's like, oh yeah, like she's a minor influencer. Curious. Why would this harm his marriage if he already laid his soul bare and confessed his sins 3 months ago? Yeah, this guy's the worst. Oh, brother. Okay, this one says, we all know the truth, bro. Laughing emoji. Original post was on what should I do? My wife, who's 35 and I'm 32, is upset that I gave money to a woman selling when I thought I was just being helpful. What should I do? What do you mean you gave money to a woman selling? What was she selling? I try to be generous, and so me giving money to people isn't an unusual thing for me to do. Okay. My wife and I do well, and this issue isn't about the money. Last week, I was online and I saw a post from a woman I went to high school with. Oh man, okay, here we go. She had a baby earlier this year and was talking about how things were difficult and asking for help. I decided to give a $100 to help her out. What? Like she didn't even like put a GoFundMe or something. You just gave her $100. Figured if she was lying, it wasn't a ton of money I wasted. Dude, you must be freaking nice. $100? Yo, hey, if that's not a ton of money to you, you mind donating me $100 on one of my streams? That would be amazing. She hated me in high school, but I thought that was the past. Weird to add too to the story. She had a link to give money to in her profile. Oh, okay, so she did have like a LinkedIn, like a GoFundMe or something. I sent the money and sent a message saying that I hope things turn around for her. I figured that would be the end. Turns out she's selling images online and has other social media accounts for that. Oh, dude, we know, bro, you can't play us, man. We all know what you did here. We get it. Look, at this point, just come out. Just say that you bought pictures of you obviously did that because she hated you in high school. You probably liked her in high school, had a crush on her, and wanted to see what she looked like. That's usually how it goes too. I've talked to OnlyFans women, women that I've dated that have done OnlyFans, and a lot of times most of the people that pay for their pictures are people from like high school and stuff. It's kind of crazy to think about. She replied with some suggestive images and then posted a thank you to me online and made me look like I'm buying her stuff. I love that you put look like. Buddy, you bought her stuff. Just admit it. It's okay. It looks super suspicious. I mean, it's not okay, but just fess up at this point. It looks super suspicious because the username for her donations is a play on words around some sexual stuff. Dude, stop trying to dance around it. We all know. I didn't notice until after she started posting. Yeah, sure. Well, now people are seeing this post of hers and my wife is pissed. Understandably so, as it looks like I'm trying to buy women images of women online. What should I do to help show people I'm not doing anything here? I mean, you're cooked. Maybe you should stop donating to people in general for this issue. I mean, come on. I mean, what has the world come to? If a man can't make an honest mistake of sending $100 to the Tits for Days OnlyFans page, thinking he was only donating charity to a woman who hated him 20 years ago. It's a cruel world we live in. That's so funny. All right, how dense can someone be? Let's see. How dense can someone be? Original post was on AITA. So, am I the a-hole for offering to help my wife with the dishes? What? Okay. So they're both 26. My wife and I both work 4 days a week. I work 12-hour shifts and she works 8-hour shifts. She would work more, but our daughter, who's one, needs to be picked up from daycare. Wow, she's in daycare at 1? That's pretty crazy. I leave for work before they wake up, and some days get home after our daughter has gone to bed. Oh, that sucks. This week, our daughter's daycare provider was sick, so my wife took the week off to work to care for her. I worked an extra day to make up for her lost income, so it all works out fine, or so I thought. She seems still stressed, so I asked her what was wrong. She broke down saying that she is struggling with balancing work, caring for our daughter throughout the week, and keeping our house clean, cooking, etc. I responded calmly by saying that I can't miss work or reduce hours. We simply cannot afford it. She responded by saying she knows that, but it is overwhelming for her, and the house chores are piling up. I told her 90% of the problems with messiness could be solved if she just picked up after herself. Bro, you don't tell a woman. Bro, you're a dumbass. You're cooked. If she just put the used butter knives in the sink after she was done and rinsed bottles, cookware, etc. This is a common mistake that men make. The worst thing you can do in a situation like this is tell a woman what they're doing wrong. Because you're more than likely doing shit wrong too, and she's just not putting it out there. And now you're just airing out for war. I will happily do the dishes when I get home from work. Hell, I'll even put them away after. But I do not want to play scavenger hunt and look around the house for things to wash. Buddy, you suck. And you know what's funny too? I bet you she does that when she does his dishes and stuff. She did not respond to me after I said that other than a quiet okay before going to console with her daughter who had woke up early from her nap. She still seemed upset with me, so I vented to my coworker what had happened. He says I was being an a-hole because I didn't even listen to what she wanted. I feel like I was perfectly reasonable. Am I the a-hole? Easily the a-hole, bro. What? Guy really lacks some communication skills too. Whenever someone says they spoke or explained something calmly, I immediately assume that they're the a-hole and are using calmly to make people think that their other person's is blowing things out of proportion. Yeah. Oh, I gotta read this one. I was gonna end it, but nope. We gotta lock in on this one. But women do it too, sad face. So original post was on r/men's rights. And I have dove into that subreddit before, so I want to read this one. That show, Adolescence, was trash. What show is that? Oh, it's a newer show. I have not seen this yet. If you guys think this is a good show, let me know in chat. What was the rotten for it? 74? Not bad. First and foremost, I knew that this show was going to be an attack on Gen Z or Gen Alpha boys and Gen Z men, as if we weren't demonized enough. Oh, boohoo. Oh, you're already playing the victim card, brother. I also understood that this show was most likely was in production when everyone thought Trump was going to lose to Harris. 3 episodes in, I knew the entire script was made by women and like 3 dudes. Now, I'm really curious. The whole premise of the show was that incel Gen Z and Gen Alpha boys unalive girls. Statistically, this isn't even remotely true. If you look at data from school pews, boys and girls were not favored. Now, maybe this is about isolated incidents. Wait, really? Is that true? Hold up. I'm pretty sure more men have done school pews than women. Yeah, so I have a statistic pulled up here by Statistica. I don't know how reputable it is, but I'm pretty sure this is reputable because they actually like reference full-on studies for this. From the period of 1982 to August of 2025, last month, by the gender, okay? We have male 149, female 4, male 2, and female together 2. What are you on? Also, I randomly found this out too. It's the ethnicity. This one's pretty interesting to me. 84 white, 26 black, 12 Latino, 10 Asians, 5 others. Don't even know what the others are. 3 Native Americans. Wow. I was gonna make a really bad joke right here. I'm gonna refrain. I'm not trying to get canceled. And he really sits there and says, if you look at data for school pews, boys and girls were not favored. Buddy, we just did that. And it's like heavily favored. All right, anyways, now maybe this is about isolated incidents. Again, extremely rare that a boy of these 2 generations has unalived a girl over red pill ideology. I don't think it's over red pill ideology. I think red pill and black pill ideology is the beginning of thought processes that could spew to this. The reason I say this, and you can argue against it. I know there's incels watching these videos. I mean, I have some incel subscribers, and you know, all the chill ones out there. I love you guys. You guys are awesome. But I know some of you guys out there are gonna be like, no, there's no way. Well, the thing is, a lot of the black pill and red pill ideology, and we see it oftentimes in incel IS and also occasionally in Looks Max, but mostly in incel IS, right? We'll see these guys spew like these horrible things about women, and like I'm talking like the worst of the worst, literally saying that they would unalive them. So how did that not like connect? The guy continues and says, so not only do we get a show about unalivers that don't happen, that's wow. Let's flip the script. How come there wasn't any sensationalized, demonizing show about girls unaliving girls? What? I just Googled show about girls killing girls, and Mean Girl Murderers popped up, which explores the dark side of female relationships and rivalries. So that's one. So even by this notion, didn't we just completely, I don't know if A Good Girl's Guide to Murder is one, but I'm assuming this one is. So he's already got debunked on that. This guy is not reputable. The first thing he brought up was the data of men versus women on school, outings, we'll say. For example, those 3 psychopathic girls who lured other girls into a forest and unalived her like 100 times. Yes, and that is a great example of a time that has happened. But we can also bring up like many more men examples. I think statistically speaking, more men have been mass unalivers than women. This is a study done by Michigan, the university, and it says here that men are arrested at almost 4 times the rate of women for violent crimes. And we have by the Office of Justice Programs of the U.S. Department of Justice, it states that 82% of American serial killers, 85% were male. So, yeah, I don't know where this guy is going at with this. Or hundreds of other cases of women committing unalivings, which has been increasing year on year. In fact, 2025 is the largest amount of women in prison ever. Yet we have no show demonizing women. Have you not seen like Orange is the New Black? That's also about women going to prison, right? And then just because the whole prison rate is going up doesn't mean that, I mean, obviously women's going to go up too, but is it also men's too? This is such a flawed amount of stuff that he's saying. Let's be real. While it may be subtly acted, you really need to treat it as a stereotype, sensationalized British white middle class pearl clutching, schlocky misery, corn on the cob that it is at its core, which appeals to Reddit bots. That was so bad, and I have to blur that part. Wow, that is insane that this guy's an idiot. We don't even need to dive into that. This guy is like spewing anything at this point. That's the problem. Sometimes people will just make up statistics just to argue their argument, just because it makes them sound like they're reputable, and then they act like people who don't have Google, which is like the craziest thing. Anyways, that was a fun one. I love Am I the Devil because they are just so goofy, the people out here on Reddit. I just can't believe some of them genuinely think that we're going to side with them just because they posted it on Reddit. That's insane to me. Anyways, I hope you guys have had a wonderful day and a wonderful time watching this video or listening in. Yeah, I love you guys so much. I hope you guys have a great rest of your week, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye. Oh, yeah, make sure you guys like and hype this video. All right, love you guys. Bye.